Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Now for Chats. It's been some time.
Breaking news.
This is breaking news. Yeah. It's been some time because we keep getting scooped by all the other channels, but not this time. See?
Yeah, we're gonna be first on this one.
We're
Nobody else is talking
boiled.
about any of this.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing the thing where we're just like sharing our opinions on the internet. Believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not breaking the news here. You can find it elsewhere. But if you want to hear our thoughts on all the stuff that you probably
honestly, our thoughts are the best though. Everywhere we go, people tell us we have the best thoughts.
True. Some of the best thoughts.
So, we have some of the best thoughts. We've been tested.
Yeah.
We have some of the best thoughts.
Yeah.
People pay us for our thoughts.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
As a software developer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Where do you want to start? All kinds of leaks.
So we're talking about leaks, which some of you might know, but maybe you're finding out about it here. Probably not. But yeah, we'll start with, I think, the one we're most...
Do you think James Workshop has assassinated anyone over the leaks? Like, do you think this is some clandestine, like someone's in a parking deck in a trench coat, like,
yeah,
you want to know about the latest in MESBG, and then someone gets poisoned?
I absolutely
There's
think
probably
that.
a really cool spy ring.
We
to
wouldn't
get these
know
leaks.
about it.
Many Bothans died to bring us these leaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bophides.
I was trying to think of something.
Greek hero Bophides.
Yeah.
He has something similar to Achilles' heel, but it's different for Bophides.
I'll look it up.
Anyways, leaks.
What are we most excited about? I think the change to strike.
Yeah, the change to strike is great.
It's now D3 instead of D6, which really makes fight.
I really like
value,
that change.
Yeah.
I really do, because D6 is so dicey.
Yep.
I mean, I just, in a blanket way, a lot of these changes make the game a little less dicey.
Yeah,
it's
a little
still
more
going to be super dicey, but yeah, strike D3 is awesome. It means your strike 4 hero fighting a strike, or a fight 4 fighting a fight 6 is like, they probably don't want to actually strike.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they expect to tie or better more times than not.
Unless the other guy strikes too, is what I mean. Or they're driving a strike. Yeah, I just really like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot more decisions to be made. Because, usually you're in a fight with two heroes who have strike. One of them strikes, well, you got to strike two.
Yeah, I got to strike two. But now you're like, what are my odds, really? Yeah. I mean, if I'm Elrond with that new fight 7, and you're fight 5, do I strike? I could go for the gamble of tying, and I got the Elfblade. I really like it.
Yep.
I really like it.
Or you strike and pretty much guarantee you're winning. So it's
right.
Quite the buff to good heroes, I think.
It is, which I think good fighty heroes needed, like Gil-galad. You know,
if he stays fight 9, which we don't know, there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of if he stays the same. I think,
and that's the big thing is. Such a huge chunk of what we know is still missing.
Yeah.
It's fun to conjecture, but Elrond didn't fundamentally change.
Right,
really.
and we saw a few of the profiles from what's coming out, and there's fight 5 and 6. I don't think there were any 4s on the heroes.
Not on the heroes, no. And was it our first Rohan fight 6 hero?
Yeah.
Some dude we haven't seen the movie for yet, which I am kind of excited about that.
Sure.
Yeah. So strike, awesome. It's a great change. Other heroics.
Strength now doubles your strength up to 10, which is in a world where you don't have to strike as much. Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more strength.
I think so too.
I mean,
that's all I want is choice. I mean, right now,
too much strength.
Have you ever called a heroic strength?
Yes, I don't remember. I know I have.
I
Probably
did one.
when I was less good at the game.
I did one because I knew it would stop a hurl.
Yeah.
Because once your strength is
whatever. String now, it won't.
It won't anymore.
Yeah. Wait. It's only counts as when making strikes.
Oh, when it counts as when making strikes. You're right. Yeah. So, which is great because I think that was the intention. It's like, no, I'm calling on all my inner fury. Not, there's a horse getting slung at me. Hulk out.
You have to make yourself look bigger than the horse.
Yeah. So
they're actually more scared of you than you are.
It's true. Yeah. That is the thing about horses. Yeah. So that's a great change.
Yeah. I mean, the strike has so many trickling changes. The strike change has so many trickling changes for the other heroics, which were also improved anyway. Right. So it's like we're going to see a lot more.
Before strike was the number. Yeah. I mean, by and large, probably other than moves and maybe marches, strike was what you called.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
Very little. Sometimes a defense.
Yeah.
Which didn't change at all, but they tightened up the wording, by the way, defense. So it's now clearly like A6, not modified or anything, which I like that. Real quick, I think doubling strength is essentially, in most situations, a +2 to your die roll. Almost every time. I think
unless you're already like strength,
right.
Unless you're
going from
10.
4 to 3 or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, hey, for a point of might, I'm getting +2 on all these wounds, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yep.
A hero like, say, Theodred, charging some high defense boys where he already outfights them, calling a heroic strength.
Yep.
Man, that's cool. It's going to get used.
Yep.
It's going to get used.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. It's really good.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot more predictable situations now, like, because it was D3 before, right?
It's D3, which is like,
now
big whoop.
The more you know exactly what you're getting or have a better idea of what you're getting,
Right.
I feel like the more skill-based the game becomes, right?
Yes.
I mean, the more
agree.
you predict. Like, same with Strike. Like, your outcomes are more predictable, so now you're making wiser decisions. And more decisions.
Yeah, and thinking about trade-offs and like weighing it out, which are cool. Moving on, what about challenge?
Yeah.
I like the changes to challenge. It's a little, I've read it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, I think I get it.
Yeah.
I really like that you don't have to be engaged with that hero, because in the past, again, because Strike was so good, 9 times out of 10, if you're engaged with the hero, you want to be striking or calling anything but challenge.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the only time I've ever called challenge is when I've had to.
Yeah.
From Elrohir and Eladon. So I kind of like it. I like that you can set it up early game. You're like, this guy is an assassin hero, and he's coming for that guy.
Yep.
So I'm going to get this challenge out of the way.
You have to be within 6 inches.
You got to be within 6 inches.
And I guess
in
to
a
tell
battle
everybody
line.
to explain what it does now, in case someone hasn't read it for whatever reason, you get
easy.
You get one more attack.
One more attack against that hero. And
plus
one to wound.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if they accept, they get the same.
They get the same back against you.
If they don't, you still get it, right?
You still get it if they don't.
Yeah.
But there's not really a lot of other penalties for them. I don't remember, right?
If you have to charge each other. Anyone who accepts,
if you've accepted, you have to charge that hero if you can, which is still
do
you
have to go directly toward? Probably not.
I don't think so.
That'd be too gameable.
I think it just says you charge them if you have to charge them if able.
Yeah.
So that's you can play around that a little bit. I think that's it, and then you get 1 might back if you kill that target, and then you can call it again on someone else.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it was super detrimental before to not counter, to like not accept it, and also kind of no penalty, which there's still not really a big penalty to not accepting it. Like most of the time when you're getting
challenged, if you want to avoid them anyway, you're
probably gonna
not accept it and go somewhere else.
Right? Exactly.
But if you're hunting somebody down and you know that's like your primary goal, that's when you might challenge. I do think I'm still having trouble seeing where it's going to come up a ton. Like, I still think it'll probably be one of the least used.
My thinking is it's going to be on more profiles.
Yeah.
Because it still has to be the same or a higher heroic tier, but some of the like beaters, it could be pretty good. I mean, all of a sudden a like captain tier challenging a valor or legend tier.
Yeah.
Getting 1 extra attack and +1 to wound suddenly makes them really scary.
Yeah, and if they don't accept it, then if you do get into them, suddenly you're almost even heroes in some ways. If you were weaker before.
And if they do accept it, they have a detriment too, because you're you can't go anywhere you want. Like we gotta fight.
You really want to do it against like someone with free heroic combats or something, so that they're like not getting to get so someone who would otherwise be plowing through all your warriors. Like you can kind of stop them from doing
That's it. Yeah. It's cool. I think it's going to take some time to wrap my head around that.
I think it's still going to, like, every time it happens to me or I do it, I'm going to be like, oh, I gotta. This is
really
new.
Think about this. It's a cool change. But
great.
And I think there's a lot of other. We've already said like the profiles could be changing a lot. So who knows who's going to have it and it be good. But it seems like it could be really viable. Who knows though?
I like it.
But especially like to me. Like up and comer, like a low fight hero who's kind of a beater, suddenly get pretty scary. I mean, even if you have Elrond and I've got some fight 4 hero, for example, or maybe even fight 5, like maybe I don't want to strike, or maybe I'll save the strike, but all of a sudden I'm like, hey man, I'm challenging you. And it's just now something Elrond has to think about and be aware of, because suddenly me charging Elrond and getting an extra attack and +1 to wound is pretty scary. That's pretty good, man.
I like all positive changes so far, and I think in general,
there hasn't been one change I've seen so far that I haven't liked. And I know we're going through the list, but we'll talk about it.
We haven't talked about legacying things, but whatever. That's obviously the only.
I mean, we might as well. We've touched on it.
Let's talk about it.
I'm a little mixed on it. I do think anything that's been legacy, we'll probably see some play for a while. I think a lot of tournaments are still going to allow it, but I do think it's the signal that probably next edition, they're gone.
Yeah. And
so you probably got 4 or 5 years left with your legacy stuff.
Yeah. My take on it is everyone has a right to be a little disappointed that something they painted and is gone.
Of course.
But
of course.
in the name of progressing the game and keeping it tighter, you know, I'm fine with it. It's a trade I'm fine with. And they could, down the road, unlegacy something once they feel like they're
not throwing away the model
they
masters.
Print out, or they make a new model for it or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows?
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, we've got a decent amount of stuff that's getting legacy. Yeah. And I will say for myself, I'm kind of just like, if it's legacied, I'm not going to think about it much. Yeah. Unless there's a tournament that's like, hey, bring all your stuff. Then I'm like, okay, let's take a look. But I think for the most part, I'm just going to not use the legacy stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part. And I'm just okay with it. Yeah. But,
we'll see what tournament runners do. It seems like most people are saying they want to just allow legacy, but I think we have to see what actually comes of it.
Yeah, we don't know yet. And I will say, and no offense to people who've painted these armies and love them, I'm okay with Lord of the Rings games not having like camels running them up.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yep.
And I also accept that some of the legacy decisions were a little like, really? Yeah. That was legacy, but not this guy? Like, both can be true.
Yep.
I would love to see all the heroes we know and love from the movies doing cool stuff on the tabletop. Yep. Like, that is my dream. And so if legacy, we have to have a little bit of pain for a little bit, but the game's in a much better spot. I'm here for it. I'm good with it. So far, James Workshop has done a pretty good job on this game, by and large, and I have faith that this is going to be fine.
Same. I mean, especially after the most recent changes.
Oh,
we didn't do a video right after Legacy, but I think people were kind of...
Yeah.
It was a dark time in the community.
Yeah, I think most of our friends were pretty bummed. I never felt a huge amount of... But, I mean, I was, scrolling through, I'm like, oh, that hero's gone? Okay, that sort of sucks.
Yep.
And again, some of our friends who like... Our friend Connor, who painted a whole...
That's the only reason I didn't want
Far
camels to be legacied is because I feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's right, which sucks. And I think it's good for the game. And he'll be able to use them for a couple years. Yep. And that's a good run of any game. How many board games have you played for this long?
We're tired of some armies we've had for
years. Right. So
yeah. Get your use out of them.
Yeah.
Resolve is better now.
Yeah, it's better.
I think, So you can... Before, you couldn't move on a turn where you called Resolve. And Resolve is the one that gives you everyone within 6 inches of you resistant to magic. Mm-hmm. Still gives you that, but now you can move. And also there's some other nice things for like...
Auto pass, stand fast.
And if you get charged before you get to move, you still get to stand fast.
You can call a Resolve in order to stand fast. Yeah.
Which is pretty...
because you've called it at the top of the move. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I have one complaint with it.
Uh-huh.
It is... I believe the way it's worded is, it's when you activate, everyone within 6 inches of you gets resistant to magic. But I don't think they have to stay within 6 inches.
I think you might be right, yeah.
And it's not at the end of your move. It's at the start of your move, which adds a lot of bookkeeping.
Yeah, a little hard to track, yeah.
That's a huge pain.
But in most cases... You only really care about the heroes that you affected. Obviously, there are exceptions. But,
probably true.
But yeah.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to want everyone to be clumped up anyways. But
and you can always stick a token where you were.
Yeah, but then they can move. So it adds a
adds
lot of bookkeeping. Right, It actually adds a pretty big amount of bookkeeping in some situations. Practically, I don't know that it's going to be that bad.
I still don't think it's going to get used much, other than like if you have a mighty hero, suddenly Aragorn he's got a free point of might anyway. Maybe he'll call it.
Assuming that's still the case, and the mighty hero still exists. But I agree. Then it's still pretty useful. But when I reread that, I was like, really? It's where you started, not where you ended. That's kind of a pain.
Yeah, it is a pain. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I guess I don't think it's going to get used very much because I don't think you want to spend one of your 3 might on that too often, especially if you're facing like a spellcaster heavy list. But maybe on a super crucial turn where you really want to get
a hero getting a free heroic resolve. Like that could be a design space that's not given out right now. Yeah. Like a wizardy hero. I don't know. Who knows? But so it's better.
It's better.
But I don't love that. Any bookkeeping that has to go on. I'm always like, that's like even prone. It's like, it kind of sucks. You have to like mark stuff and remember who's prone and who's not, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's better.
We'll see how that goes. So I guess we can talk about spells now.
Yeah. That's a natural progression from
one interesting change is that there's no channeling definition on each spell.
Yeah.
So that each spell doesn't have a special...
That's right.
Channeling is going to exist because it's on Elrond.
It does exist.
But there's not like a spell-specific, channeling-specific version of spells.
Yeah, I have no idea what it could mean.
Yeah.
We could just guess. I mean, it could be that, hey, when you spend a might, you auto-pass that spell.
Yeah.
That could be one. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what channeling does?
Yeah.
I'm curious, but you're right. There's no definitions.
That has pretty big implications for Blinding Light.
Mm-hmm.
What else was something that was... Fury, I guess, was often channeled.
Yeah. Fury was sometimes channeled. Not a lot of other stuff. I mean, you might channel a black dart here or there. Not really. Or you'll channel like a sap wheel.
Yeah.
But
not often.
Yeah, channeling wasn't used.
Mostly
Blinding
Light.
Light.
So.
Yeah. And maybe some of the other auras.
Yeah.
So... Blinding Light didn't change much, right? It still lasts the turn. It's still the same thing. They tightened up some of the wording, like you have to be able to see the model that's cast it. You can't be behind a building.
Yeah, which I think might have been in the FAQs before, and I didn't realize. I think someone said that. I didn't realize that was the case.
I don't think I realized that. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
sorry, my opponents.
That's why we won all our games.
That's right. That's why we're champions. Because Blinding Light, we're screwing it up.
Well, we did skip accuracy, but not it like gives sharpshooter now, which we don't know what that is.
Yeah, we don't know.
And there's something else good that it added, I think.
Well, it added the reroll for In the Ways and also sharpshooter, which is something else.
So in some way, there's been a buff to bows, both in Blinding Light getting losing its channel version, and we get something extra from accuracy. Yeah. So that's worth, I guess, noting about a slight shift.
Yeah.
But
I can't wait to see some profiles.
Yeah, I was going to say, bows might have also gotten worse in some ways.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. All of this, we don't know. I mean, they could have even changed the army building rules. Maybe it's only a quarter of your models can have bows now. We have no idea. Yep. I can't wait. It's so fun to be guessing. I'm very excited about all this.
I'm full steam ahead.
Yeah. All right, other spells that have changed.
Yeah, Compel no longer transfixes after
That's
it,
a good change.
It's a good change, yeah. It was a little too tasty.
The model still can't move anymore, but now they can do their other. They can make strikes, and I like that.
Yeah, there might be some other... I feel like there was something else that changed around Compel, but that was definitely the big thing. Yeah. So that's a good change, yeah.
Yeah,
Black Dart now does strength 6 wounds instead of strength 9, which...
Yeah.
Pretty decent nerf.
I mean, it is, but...
Not huge, but like...
9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10. It was used to kill a horse. Yeah. So that didn't change. You're still going to need a 3.
Yeah.
For armored horses, you'll need a little more, I guess. But yeah, to chip a wound off a big hero got a lot harder.
Or to snipe a banner or something out.
Snipe a banner, that's true.
It'll be a lot harder now.
Yeah, you're right.
Strength 6
you're right.
on a D6. You need
that's true.
Well, you need a 4 instead of a 3, so...
Yeah, still a nerf. Still a nerf. I'm good with it, though.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Magic.
All the magic nerfs I'm fine with, again.
Yeah.
As long as the points and stuff represent it. Yeah. Like, if the Witch King is still the same points and all these spells got worse, I'm like, well, suddenly he's not so attractive. Still not horrible, but not quite as good.
Yeah. Aura of Dismay no longer...
Yeah, of which May?
This one.
Oh, this one.
No longer gives terror.
That's a huge nerf.
Yeah, huge nerf to Kiradon.
Huge nerf, yeah.
If Kiradon even has Aura of Dismay anymore, but yeah.
Was it an exhaustive list of spells? Are there spells that maybe are new that we don't know about?
It was exhaustive, yeah. A few spells are gone, too. I don't remember which ones.
Was Cause Terror in there? The one that, makes them flee? Was that gone? I don't remember seeing it now.
Instill Fear?
Instill Fear, that's what it was.
Maybe it's not.
I don't remember seeing Instill Fear.
I don't either. Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't remember.
We're prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Fortify Spirit is now just one die. So
also a good change.
Yeah.
That's such a hard nerf to Magic.
Yeah.
It's a good change.
It's a hard nerf to Magic. Hard
as it is now, 2 free dice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Glorfindel is my jam. Because I'm like, well, you rarely have to worry about magic affecting him.
Yeah, as much as I like Glorfindel, I'm glad to see him nerfed so that now the other heroes are
all of a sudden Elrond might be a little more.
Yeah. And we still don't know the full definition and instructions for magic, so something else could have changed too.
Something could have changed, yeah. What else? What else we got?
20-point horses.
20-point horses. That's good.
Change. Yep.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good change.
Horses were, anything that was you're not thinking about it, which and 95%
if you have a horse
cases,
option, you buy it. There are some. I recognize there are some thought leaders in our space that argue against horses on some of their blogs and things, and they have good points.
Yeah.
But me, I'm a horseman.
Yeah.
You know,
Centaur.
Yeah. What's the thing where it's a horse on the top, but man on the bottom? Yeah. I'm that. I'm a reverse centaur.
I'm like 1/4 horse.
Right.
It's just like, I just have hooves.
Yeah.
And long, thin legs.
And a long face.
And a long face. Why?
Long face. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Even at 20 points, they're probably often going to be taken, but that's a big...
I like that it's something
jump.
you think about now.
It is. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they cost for warriors, because we don't know that, right? There were no Riders of Rohan in the new starter box.
There were no, we didn't have points cost for any of the options.
Point cost. That's right.
We have what the options are, but
Right.
Which, I mean, one thing that was cool on those Dunland boys, that flaming brand.
Yeah.
They count as an extra model for
that was
objectives.
great.
That's cool,
I love that. That's a fun design space that hasn't really been explored. Like monsters always could have or should have done that, but having the torch on an objective counts as 2 models. That's great.
That's cool. Yeah,
what a cool...
I hope there's more stuff like that. That's what, like you said, for monsters and things like that, they kind of need a little help on their cost versus their objective.
Yeah,
but maybe monsters will get.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
What else you got in there?
I think that was pretty much my whole list.
Okay, well, what about beasts not being able to pick up objects anymore?
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Good change. It was always felt unintuitive to me. We were talking earlier, like when I first started playing.
When your Crabane grab an object.
Or even like a warg. Like, I don't picture them as being smart enough to know that they need to grab this thing.
I will say in the Hobbit, the wargs talk.
Yeah.
So I think they were more intelligent. But I don't think they do. I don't know that they're referenced much in the Lord of the Rings. But in the Hobbit, they're like taunting the dwarves. So they might have been smart enough, but I'm okay with not doing that because these are the movie wargs, I think. That's a good change. What else? We've seen a couple changes. We don't know the full implications of everything, but war beasts, we'll just wait and see. Siege weapons, who knows what
there is a whole chariot section in the rulebook now.
That's right.
Cool.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
Chariots are neat.
Yeah.
I remember at some point, I think in like previous editions of the game, you could get a Rivendell chariot, and I love that idea. Cool. I want an elven chariot. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll see. I doubt it makes a comeback, but maybe. Man can dream.
He can.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anything else?
No, I mean we could talk a little bit about. I guess just Elrond's profile change, which is not much.
Not much, yeah. One
more fight, and a more expensive Nene. That's it.
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, he has an intelligence stat now, and
it's true,
and a courage stat that's flip flopped how it works.
I like that. Yeah. I like splitting it out. That's a good because you could be brave and dumb.
Yep.
Or smart and cowardly. Yep. That's a good like extra grain in the rules. Yeah. I was glad that they finally split out fight and shoot. Like, it was weird. So weird that they're just 2 numbers there. Like, they're just different stats. Yeah. Anything else, man? I mean, we saw the 6 objectives that they're putting in the core rulebook, right?
Yeah.
Or 6 scenarios rather. Yeah. I'm sure they'll tweak them a little bit, but they're already pretty decent ones, so that'll be fun.
We'll see if any disappear. Yeah. Needless to say, I think we're to me, 100% of the changes have been good so far.
100%. I haven't seen anything that I don't love.
Any faith that might have been lost, not that I don't think there was for us, but
not for me.
For us, there's just
I think we've always been.
I think we have pretty full faith in James.
Yeah, I believe in James in this case, and I'm also not naive about James Workshop.
Yeah.
We've been down that road, but I think we're in okay hands, and it will change in the future. I mean, in 4 to 5 years, we're probably going to get another edition. Yep. So just ride it while you can. It's still going to be fun. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait to see some profiles though. I mean,
dude,
that's the main
I'm
thing
dying to see them.
I'm glad we got all this important information, which is cool. But I just want to see revamped somebody.
No, give me anybody. Give me some of the heroes we know. It was nice to see Elrond, but then I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Hopefully that's not indicative of the magnitude of change to heroes. But if it is, it's still going to be a cool...
Yeah. Similarly, I was a little disappointed that the Warriors of Rohan were still Fight 3, but I guess they are kind of just militia that are raised.
They do have built-in, now they're throwing spears, can be spears, right? Which is a cool change.
That's a good change.
A needed change, I mean, yeah. Though I guess it takes some identity out of the Legendary Legions that probably won't.
Yeah,
it might not even be there anyway.
It makes sense. It's good. It's good. Yeah. It is kind of weird, but it's fine. That's all I got, man. I'm excited about it.
By the time this comes out, there may have been another week or even an article. But
I really hope so. I'm also traveling for work all this week, so if a big article drops, I'm gonna just have to be like, oh, my stomach really hurts. I have to go. I'm gonna be back in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Cool. I think that's all. We hope you agree with all of our opinions, and if you don't...
Yeah, if you don't, just leave.
Yeah,
and
just leave.
Never come back.
Please don't leave. We need you.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us in the comments if you disagree with us.
Yeah, let's chat about it. I know the legacy thing is probably, a lot of people are a lot more upset than we are, and we have some stuff that got legacied.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but plenty of stuff that kind of hurts.
I think everyone's entitled to be disappointed about certain things, but
I'm not telling anyone they should be wrong.
I also don't think some of the extreme, like, they don't care, they ruined the game, the game's dead, whatever. I mean...
I'm not going to go on a soapbox.
Internet.
You have every right to be upset.
Yep.
And that's fine. That's fair.
That's fair.
Hey, until next time, thank you all for joining us. We'll see ya.
Bye.